Here's the reason why they haven't embraced content. They're afraid of giving you access to the customer.
It feels like Amazon, just like they were late to the party on ads, they've been late to the party on short video, they've been late to the party on content, the content blended with commerce journey. I can't tell you the number of times I've had to search on Amazon for a product. Then when I find the product that I want to buy or potentially want to buy, I then have to go off Amazon. I've got to go to Google or I've got to go to YouTube. I've got to search for the product. I've got to look for a review of that product, or I've got to look for a comparison. Like, for example, I remember when I was buying an air filter here, the Amazon content around this was absolutely atrocious. It was basically non-existent. I had to go off, and then I had to go and I had to look for a air filter comparison 2024. I had to look through the comparison page. I had to watch the embedded YouTube videos pairing each of these products before I could make my buying decision and then go back to Amazon and actually execute the transaction. Now, at any point, Amazon could have lost that transaction if, in the process of doing my research, I could have found a better deal, a faster deal, a safer deal, or even a referral code that would have taken me back to Amazon and maybe gotten me a discount and maybe gotten a referral clip of the ticket for the referrer, which means slightly less money in Amazon's back pocket, all because they haven't integrated the whole content and commerce experience together yet. And they've got Twitch, they've got other properties on the internet, and they've got, in theory, in some markets, as I've heard, I've never seen it, but as I've heard, they support live streaming for sellers in certain markets. I think in the US market they support it.
Yeah, they do.
But apparently that's not available to every seller. There's some
only iPhones. No Android users. Screw you, Android users.
As I understand it, you have to have certain qualifications to even be able to run a live stream. So what do you see ahead? Because Amazon is not going to allow that opportunity to hemorrhage sales to other content platforms. Really? Do you think that they will continue to run that risk?
Here's the reason why they haven't embraced content. They're afraid of giving you access to the customer. The seller today doesn't have access to the customer. You can't just send a message to your buyer, right? Like, over the years, you used to be able to send emails to ask for reviews, and that got gamified so hard they cut it off. And 75% of buyers have just completely opted out of all seller communication whatsoever because it was so spammy. Then you had people that try to get around the system and send letters after you've purchased an item saying, we'll give you something for free and but you got to write a review. And that got banned and outlawed. So there's so many things that Amazon's done to protect itself, but you're right, at the cost of the customer journey in this one area. And that's because they make it so hard to make claims on the content, right? You can't say you cure cancer. Obviously, most people can't say that, but you can't even come close to mentioning words. Even if you're suffering from cancer and you want this blanket to make you feel comfortable, you can't even mention that cancer patients would find this blanket comfortable without risk of your listing being yanked for a health claim. Last week, it was, you mentioned a flower seed because of the scent in your beauty cream. Oh, you sell seeds. We're gating that seed category now. I don't sell seeds. I sell a lotion that has a raspberry scent and some pomegranate or whatever. And so we've seen things like this. The pesticides was another one. That one happened 4 years ago. It still happens today. You mentioned a word that triggered our bot that says that you sell pesticides. I don't sell pesticides. I sell tumblers, right? Like stupid crap like that. And I got so frustrated, so passionate about it that I decided to give out the answer key to the test that you had to take to prove you are okay to sell pesticides in the United States. Even though you don't sell a pesticide, you have to pass this test. So I released the answer key, and if somebody listening to this ever runs into it, just Google "My Amazon Guy Pesticides." You'll find the answer key on the internet. I'm sure I helped at least one listener at some point go through that. So those are the weird things that Amazon has done at the cost of the consumer journey as it relates to content. This is also why they're losing on video content, because they're afraid of what Pandora's box will open, right? Amazon doesn't even show the order details in an email address anymore because they're afraid Google will replicate the model and go build Amazon 2.0. So that's why you don't see content delivery mechanisms or systems from Amazon to the customer. They're afraid that their data will be taken over and leveraged. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe and leave a comment with your thoughts on questions. See you in our next video.